Ready to talk right now about great food with Winnie Moranville over in the Wood Harbor Kitchen.
I have with me Melissa Bartholomew from Fass, a specialty olive oil and vinegar shop here in Des Moines. And Melissa, having you on the show is a bit of a double-edged sword because you have great tips and great recipes for cooks. But on the other hand, I'm afraid if my friends watch, they'll know my secret weapons. And they'll know those things that are making a good recipe into a great recipe. And it's not necessarily always about the cook. It's kind of about what you put into it.
It is. I mean, a good quality dinner starts with a good quality product. And we hear that a lot from customers, actually, because it's good to start with good quality because you can impress all your friends and family. And hopefully we'll do that today with some of what we're preparing for you today.
I think you will. And what we're doing today is a recipes for a Halloween party, which of course you could use anytime. They're kind of all, autumnal recipes. So you could really, work them just about any time this season. So what's to drink?
Yeah, so what we've done is kind of taken just traditional recipes and then just try to put a Halloween twist on them, because you can just take about any recipe and put a fun name to it, twist up the ingredients or the presentation to make it more for the particular season that you're hosting for whatever party. Fabulous. So the first thing we're going to do is going to take a classic cocktail like the margarita, and we're going to call it a morgarita.
Margarita.
And we got the Fass twist on it because we're using our products in a little bit different flavor profile. So the first thing we're going to do is rim up our glass, and then I've taken your traditional margarita salt and I colored it orange just to give the rim kind of a nice holiday feel to it.
That's awesome. So you put orange and red and yellow food coloring in the in the salt. Wow, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and so then what we're doing is we're going to take a shot or an ounce of tequila, and then we're going to do an ounce of our Fass orange liqueur, blood orange liqueur, which is kind of great for the holiday season.
Yeah, blood orange.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
And then we're going to do a half an ounce of some fresh squeezed lime juice.
Great. Essential for a margarita?
Yes, definitely essential for a margarita. You
can smell all that great citrus
it all
flavor.
Comes through. Yeah. And then we're also going to add in a dash of Walberg balsam mango vinegar.
Great.
Just gives it kind of a nice liveliness, freshens up the cocktail. So we're just going to do a little bit of that.
And that's that wow, what is it touch that people will go, okay, that's a little different. Yeah. You're a great cook. That's right.
So then what we're going to do is just shake it up, and then we're going to put it into our margarita glass. And then simple sugar, I just made up some simple sugar last night, so it's just equal parts of sugar and water, and then you just boil it till
make sure people can see this. Yeah. That looks delicious. I love the rim. And
so then what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of the grenadine, which is kind of fun, and we're going to kind of give it that eerie feeling by making some little drops around the cocktail.
Bloody sort of thing there.
Yeah. Good. Kind of oozing, but it makes it kind of fun, and it just kind of drips down the glass. It makes it kind of a fun, festive cocktail for the Halloween.
That's spooktacular.
Yeah. And I think, with the blood orange and the mango just really freshens it up.
Oh,
makes
that
it
is
really
so good. It's really, really refreshing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Kind of fun.
Kind of scary in a good way.
Yeah, and then you'll see it kind of congels there on the bottom. It's kind of fun.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
And then the other one that we kind of already prepped ahead of time is a traditional teppanyaki. So they're great. You can use any sort of olives. I chose the darker olives just because it's kind of that kind of dark, eerie, spooky feeling. And then what we did is with the crostinis is just take your traditional bread like a country Italian or a sourdough, and then we use fun cookie cutter shapes,
which you can get at a lot of places like Kitchen Collage.
And so we just took them and cut them in, and then
so like you've got little cats.
Yeah,
and you've got bats.
Yeah.
Oh, those are really sweet. I love those.
And then we just take them and spray them with some olive oil. You can definitely do one of the infused olive oils like a rosemary or a garlic, and then just cook them till they're golden brown, and then just set them up on the tray and impress your friends with your creativity. But
and do you have to cut them while they're still warm? Does that help?
I actually cut it before.
Oh, you cut them before. There you go.
Cut them before, and then I put them in there and I spray them and then put them into the oven until they're just crispy brown, and then you can serve them up. They're kind of fun. So,
and you'll have the recipe for the tapenade.
I do.
Okay, you'll give it to me, and I'm going to put it on the website because you'll want to try that.
Yeah, so that's a fun one. And then, and I just called that kind of, again, you put a fun name to it, tell your friends it's Batty Tapenade or whatever you want to call it. I mean, you can come with some really festive names, right? And then the last one that we want to do, because again, being fall, soups are always big, especially if you're having people over for the holidays and everybody's, you know, managing the door for trick-or-treaters. So what we've got is what we're calling our Deadly Delicious Pumpkin Soup.
Yum.
So we've already done a lot of the prep in advance. So last night I roasted a pumpkin and then diced it up and stuff, and we have it ready to go into the food processor because this ends up being a very creamy soup. So then the way it works, so what we do with the pumpkin is we roast that, and then what we have into the pot that we've been kind of letting marinate a little bit.
Can I get a look at this?
Is some fresh mango again.
Ooh, mango and pumpkin. Now that's not something I would think of.
Anchovies, garlic, and then we have bacon in there as well.
Anchovies,
onion.
great, because I love the depth of flavor that anchovies
Yeah,
offer.
it definitely gives a little flavor. And there's some, so then what we're going to do is we've actually got that cooking so it's nice and warm. So what we want to do is that we're going to actually put that in with the pumpkin that I roasted last night, and then we're going to puree it up, and then we're going to add some chicken stock to that.
It's really going to look great.
Yeah, it's really delicious. And again, you know, it's all about how you present it as well. So you can definitely, when you get ready to serve it in the bowls, you can do...
the smell is amazing.
Yeah, and it's delicious because you can definitely get a little bit of that anchovies coming across.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even if you don't like anchovies, I always say, you know, put them in anyway because they just add a depth of flavor. They don't necessarily add anchovy fishy taste. It's
right,
great.
Exactly. And again, we're going to add in some balsam vinegar. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in a quarter cup of the mango vinegar as well.
Yum.
It just definitely pairs up really nicely with that pumpkin.
Oh, it would. It would just add that extra little spark too.
It does, yeah. And so then we've got that ready to go. And then once you blend this up and puree it, then what we're going to do, thank you. Then what we're going to end up doing is we're going to put it back into the pot and let it simmer. So we're going to get a little noisy here now, so be prepared. I want to make sure my little thing's in there so it doesn't come spewing out.
Oh. Looking good. Wow. Whee! That's great.
Yeah. So then what we're going to do is then you're going to thin it out when you put it back into the pot. Well, we're going to add a little bit more. Oh, that's what was kind of, it fell down in there. That's what was kinking up. So then what we're going to do is thin this out a little bit more with some chicken stock and let it get nice and warm.
Yum. This looks great, and it's such a great smell.
Yeah.
So how long do you think this start to finish? I mean, it looks a little complicated to me, but actually, you know, you're making it, you know, but
you are, and you can roast the pumpkin in advance, which is nice because then you can have it ready to go and diced. So then all you're really doing that night is really prepping the soup for everybody to come over that night.
Right. So do all this in advance, put it in the refrigerator, and then finish it up the next day.
Yeah. So then we're just going to add the chicken stock, so then it'll get nice and creamy.
Fantastic.
So then you want to kind of adjust the level of thinning based on how much chicken stock you want to put in there, or vegetable stock. You can use vegetable stock as well.
And I always like it, you know, a little bit thin because I don't want it to have the consistency of baby food.
Right. Because that's what you don't want. That's not very appealing to people.
Exactly. So
then you'll want to adjust because we're actually also going to add in our jerk seasoning, because the other kind of big thing about this is give it a little kick. So we're doing a tablespoon of the jerk seasoning.
Yum.
And then you want to also adjust by putting a little bit of salt and pepper in there as well, to give it some nice flavor. I'm going to probably add a little more chicken stock to thin this out, crank up the heat a little bit.
That is looking so good.
Yeah, and then we'll have you try it and see what you think. But I brought some bowls. And then the nice thing about it, again, you can get creative when you put this and plate this or put it in the bowl for your guests. So what you end up doing is, like I said, you can put some sour cream, do kind of consecutive circles with a little toothpick or skewer, make a little spider web. What I also brought today is our pumpkin seed oil.
That's one of my, can I
yes,
dip in?
you may.
Let me dip in. I love that pumpkin seed oil. I use that in salad dressings. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And this has got this beautiful dark green color that kind of gives it that interesting, eerie feeling.
It's one of those chef's touches that you can put, you know, at the end, and everybody goes, "Wow, how did you do that?" And really, all you did was pour something.
Because the peppercorn seed oil's just got so much flavor, and it's a great one too. If you're serving up popcorn, you can mist it on popcorn, give it a beautiful green flavor, but nice and nutty.
That is amazing.
Isn't that delicious? Yeah, because
all
of the
those
mango,
flavors,
the pumpkin, the jerk seasoning.
It's fruity, you know, a little bit fruity, but not sweet. It's so
But I would let that simmer a little bit, and you'll get more of those flavors. And that
there you
definitely
go.
the jerk seasoning will definitely kind of embed a little bit more in there. But
well, thank you
flavors.
so much.
Yeah.
This is absolutely delicious,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
I'm going to put these recipes up on the website so you can see them and try them at home.